It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is the afternoon edition for Thursday, the 9th of March. I'm James Spann. Got some wild weather changes coming up. Got some strong storms on the way, rain, cold air, some snow north of here, everything but the kitchen sink. Must be March. Let's go check it out. Water vapor satellite view, a dry air mass here, and a really nice day. I mean, it's kind of awesome with temperatures up in the middle 70s today. Hard to believe we're expecting freezing temperatures next week and snow north of here this weekend, but that's the way it works in March. And you can see very cold air over Canada in the northern part of the United States. That cold air is sagging southward, and we'll start to feel that over the weekend. The high Saturday will drop into the 50s, and by Sunday we'll stay in the 40s all day, and we should be in the 20s by Wednesday morning of next week. On the watch warning map, we got some winter storm issues for Montana and some of the adjacent states, but things fairly quiet for the east. We note some snow is likely through parts of Pennsylvania over toward New York City and Boston. Check the convective outlook, and the outlook has been ramped up a little bit. We now have an enhanced risk of severe weather over parts of northern Arkansas, southern Missouri, and western Tennessee, and now a slight risk into North Alabama. The areas in yellow, that would include Hamilton, Haleyville, Cullman, Fort Payne, and points north. A marginal risk now as far south as Birmingham and Anniston. And that's for storms coming in here very early tomorrow morning, and we'll talk about that threat in just a moment. And then after 6 o'clock tomorrow, we could see some thunder over parts of the southern states, but severe weather tomorrow not expected. This is the rain for the next 7 days. Valid through Thursday morning of next week. Most everybody will see at least 1 inch. Some spots may be getting more, especially across the northern counties of the state. And how about a little March snow? This is the accumulation potential from WPC through Sunday morning. And you can see potential for accumulating snow over Missouri, Tennessee, parts of southern Kentucky, over into North Carolina. This is the 50th percentile. If you crank it up to the 75th percentile, of course, you're going to see bigger numbers there. And the question is, can we see any accumulating snow up there in Alabama near the Tennessee border? Over far north Alabama. And again, we'll talk about that as we go. So here we go, model fans. Here's the GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid tomorrow at noon, troughing over the northeastern states. Now, let's first off talk about the storms with the front coming in here after midnight tonight. This is 2 a.m. Central Time. Storms creeping into the Tennessee Valley. And the main threat here is going to be from hail and strong winds. The tornado threat, not zero, but pretty low. Then by 5 o'clock, the band of storms is coming in on Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden. So many of you are going to sleep through this. But it's conceivable, again, these storms might produce some hail, gusty winds, but they should be weakening at that point. And then by 12 noon, everything is down to the south, and I think the sky should become mostly sunny by afternoon. So some pre-dawn storms tomorrow. They could be strong, maybe severe, the better chance of severe storms up over the Tennessee Valley, and then the sky becoming sunny tomorrow afternoon with a high back in the 60s, about 10 degrees cooler than today. Here's a big picture on Friday. Note that big old cold 1049 millibar high over Canada nosing in here, and we're going to start to feel that air over the weekend. All right, what about that weekend? This is Saturday. Now, during the day, the weather looks dry. In fact, we could very well start out with sunshine Saturday morning, and clouds will increase Saturday afternoon. So if you got something planned outdoors during the day Saturday, for now, it looks like you'll be mostly okay, although rain could move in by late afternoon, after 3 or 4 o'clock. Now, this is midnight Saturday night, 12 a.m. Sunday, when things get pretty messy. Let's take a closer look. You can see rain over much of Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, and snow over much of Tennessee and northeast Arkansas. And you can see it's a very close call up in the Tennessee Valley. For snowflakes mixing in with the rain. But it looks like the better chance of the accumulating snow should be over Tennessee with, again, yes, the chance of some down in here. In fact, let's look at 6 o'clock, and you can see as the cold air drops south and the wave moves on by, the chance of a wintry mix over about the northern third of the state, north of U.S. 278, north of the line from Hamilton to Cullman to Gadsden. With the warm ground, warm infrastructure, the chance of accumulation looks pretty small here. I would say any accumulation should be confined to the high elevations, probably over 1,000 feet. And again, temperatures you can see coming down toward 32, so I guess there might be a few slick spots, but I think the overall impact for extreme North Alabama, fairly small the way it looks now. For the rest of the state, just a cold rain. And obviously no severe weather. And then by Sunday at noon, everything kind of winding down. It's going to be a cold day. Again, we stay in the 40s all day, just very raw. Any clearing should be very slow. This is the snow accumulation coming off the GFS. And you can see that strip of snow down into parts of Tennessee and extreme North Alabama. European, pretty close, the heavier snow over southern Tennessee, if this is right. And I thought I'd check the Schreff Plume Viewer for Huntsville. And this has, about 24 members. And the one member does show 1.5 inches, but that's a clear outlier. The mean of the members is the black line, and that's about 1/10 of an inch of snow. So, again, if you're in Huntsville or Scottsboro or Athens or Elkmont or Ardmore or the Shoals, well, let's keep an eye on this. And this is going to be early Sunday morning when this happens. And I think the chance of snowflakes is good. But, again, in terms of accumulation, that's very iffy and impact at this point. But this is Thursday, so we've got time to watch that. But for most of the state, just a cold rain. Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Now, this is Monday. We're cool and dry with a high in the 50s. But we note a clipper coming down from the northwest, producing light snow for Chicago and St. Louis and Des Moines. And Tuesday, that thing spins up a nasty-looking nor'easter off the upper Atlantic coast. And this verifies this could be a big snow for the big cities, New York City and Boston, Philadelphia, Providence. And down here, Tuesday would be cold. The high, again, only in the 40s, maybe low and mid-40s with a strong north wind to make it feel colder, and maybe a chance of snow flurries Tuesday morning over about the northern third of the state. But again, more than likely, if that happens, there wouldn't be any impact. These are the anomalies. The eastern half of the country, pretty cold for the middle of March, way below average. And this is Wednesday. The surface high settles in on top of us, and this is when I think we'll see lows probably in the mid to upper 20s. Another late season freeze there. And a week from today, Thursday the 16th, troughing moving off the Atlantic coast, we warm up and rain begins to move in. And the following day, Friday the 17th, the surface lows right on top of us, and that looks wet. We'll check the end of the forecast period, Sunday the 19th of March, troughing onto the east, and if that's right, we're cool and dry. Numbers off the 12Z GFS run, you can see the trend downward. And by Tuesday of next week, it's got a high of 42. We'll probably see mid to upper 40. Still, it's going to be cold. And it's got 27 there Wednesday morning. And I do think that's very, very possible. Again, like we've talked about, y'all, it is just way too early to plant anything that would be harmed by a freeze. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this afternoon. We'll have notes in the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you can't catch us this evening on the live stream or on television, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.